Pokemon Fire Red with only Execute was a fun run with a weird Pokemon, so let's do another. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Red with a team of only one Tangela? Tangela is a weird one. You guys probably suggested this because I rip on Tangela so much in my Gen 1 runs. Well, if you're looking at these stats, you might wonder why. 115 base defense, 100 base special in Gen 1, and passable attack, health, and speed. It seems like a solid Pokemon except for two problems. One is the only pure grass type Pokemon in Gen 1, a game loaded with a massive amount of poison types. We'll be running into moves super effective against us constantly. The second and bigger issue is our moveset. We can only learn 3 moves that use our amazing special stat, and they all either suck or require a turn to charge up. Since we're playing red version and not yellow, we don't even get Vine Whip. Our best bet is probably getting to level 49 and using Sleep Powder and then building up Growth for power. Oh, and we only have Constrict and Bind until level 29. 10 and 15 power moves respectively. We're gonna be absolutely useless for ages. Like always, I'm writing my script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. This might genuinely be Shuckle levels of terrible dealing with Brock. I don't think we can even beat Misty without learning Absorb. This is gonna be rough. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Tangela. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoy the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Bulbasaur with Tangela so that we can do the whole run with it. I replaced Bulbasaur so that our rival would have Charizard, the hardest starter for me to fight. I named my Tangela Terry. I don't know why, but everyone in the world told me to name it Terry because apparently it's a reference to some YouTube thing that went way over my head. Right off the bat, I am sure you can tell we are not doing well. Viridian Forest is the best place to level up before Brock, but it's loaded with Weedles. They hit Poison Sting all the time, a move that's both super effective against us and poisons us. Every time we get poisoned, it's pretty much set in stone that we're gonna faint, and fainting in Gen 1 makes you lose a ton of money. If I luck out and find a Metapod or a Kakuna, it still takes ages to take it out because our only attacks are incredibly weak, and they're constantly raising their defense. So, I recently had a lot of people ask to see a whole grind session. Normally I talk a bit about the grind sessions, but I don't really show much of them because there isn't really anything that interesting to show you, and it would probably get really annoying if I always pause the run to show you tons of grinding footage and say, I mashed A for a few hours. This won't be as interesting as when I showed you the Metronome grind session, but alright, you asked, here we go. This is a 1-hour grinding session sped up so that you can see the whole thing. I know that you can't really tell what's going on, but if you go to the YouTube video settings and set the speed to 0.25 speed, you should be able to generally follow what's going on in the battles. But take a moment and give it a try and just see how many battles I had to do in that 1 hour. Sometimes in a run, I have to do more than 8 of these grind sessions. It's not hard, but it's crazy tedious. I only leveled up 8 times this whole grind session. You know what? Why don't I render out this whole grind session as another video and upload it and then link it to you guys? Maybe one person will find this interesting, so why not? Check it out in the description. There's a link to the whole grind session if you have absolutely nothing better to do. During the grind session, I was watching J Rose 11's new challenge run where he tried to beat Pokemon Ruby with 1 Feebas with no items in combat. It was pretty insane, and his video was exactly an hour long, so the perfect length for this grind session. Check out his video on the card in the top right or in the video description. After the grind, I fight my way through the trainers. Check out how many hits it takes just to beat a level 9 Weedle. If I do that little to a Weedle, I'm for sure only hitting 1 damage a turn against Brock's team. I decided to try anyway. I actually got farther than I thought I would. We're hitting for 1 damage for sure, but at least Bind locks your opponent in Gen 1, so they mostly didn't fight back. By the time I got to Onyx, though, I quickly ran out of binds. As soon as I switched to Constrict and I couldn't lock them anymore, they started tackling and I went down fast. I'm gonna need a few more levels. I come back at level 17 and through a combo doing slightly more damage on some hits and better bind luck, I end up beating Brock with about half my health to spare. So you know how I usually say here that all the trainers on this route are no challenge and I skip past them? Not this time. Our attacks are so terrible and unreliable that I have to go back to the Pokemon Center between every battle just to keep my power points high. On our way though, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you would all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I decide to go right after Arrival, assuming that I'd lose quickly. Pidgeot is first and we luck out, dodging a sand attack right away and hitting Bind. I'm gonna mix up Bind and Bite a lot, aren't I, in this run? Oh god, I kind of say those words the same too because I'm so nasally. This is gonna be like the last episode where I accidentally said that like someone got paralyzed off of Confuse Ray. I've been editing videos that have my voice in it since I was like 14 years old, so I just tuned myself out at this point. He ends up sneaking in a Gust, Quick Attack, and Sand Attack in near the end. I really hate having to rely on Bind. Second is Abra, but he can't fight back, so I just use Constrict to save on power points. Third is Rattata, but I luck out and get a long Bind, so I end him easily, and last is Charmander. My first Bind missed, but he only used Leer, so I had a second chance and caught him. Caught him like in Bind, not a Pokeball. It lasted long enough to bring him to red health, and my second Bind hit, so overall the battle went pretty well. The Nugget Bridge trainers were pretty easy, although north of town is a mandatory hiker and his Geodude takes ages to take down. Keep in mind that Bind only has 75 accuracy, so it's prone to missing, and we deal much less damage than everything we're fighting. We really need to rely on Bind's ability to stop the opponent from attacking. Finally, it's time for Misty. Staryu opens with X defense, so I easily catch it in a Bind. It sneaks in a couple of weak tackles, but it's no real threat. Starmie also opens with some defense buffs, as I miss a bunch, then they crit with a few weak tackles, but eventually my Bind starts hitting again. It doesn't help much that Starmie's faster and gets an automatic attack every time Bind ends, but at least I don't take much damage. Starmie did a surprising amount of damage total, but in the end, we won. With that done, we can finally learn a real move. On the SSN, I pick up the TM for Body Slam, a really powerful normal type move that Tangela can learn. With this, the rest of the trainers on the SSN didn't stand a chance. Our attack might be kinda low, but this is a good move and we're a bit over-leveled. This'll speed up fights for a while. Rival time, Pidgeot hits a Gust and a Quick Attack, but Gust is only normal type in Gen 1, so we take it out fast. Raticate is second and Body Slam really messes it up. He misses a Hyper Fang, and we finish it. Kadabra manages to disable Body Slam, so I have to resort to Bind again, but not before losing a chunk of health to Confusion. When Bind ends, we just Body Slam for the win. Charmeleon nearly got one shot with a crit, but hit us with an Ember, so our health is a bit low and we take him out for the win. The trash can puzzle was a first try, so I'm feeling very confident about my chances against Surge. I was right to be confident since we mopped the floor with him. During it, we hit level 29 and learned Absorb. It's really weak, but at least we have a move that takes care of rock types now. The timing couldn't be better too, since right after this is Rock Tunnel. Now that we have Absorb, we go through it in record time. With that done, we can go right to Giovanni. It starts great with Onix and Rhyhorn being able to one-shot with Absorb, but Kangaskhan was rough. I started by using Body Slam and an Absorb to compare them, and depressingly enough, my attack is so low that Absorb does just about as much damage, so I stick with it for the healing. Comet Punch is messing us up, and near the end, we nearly lose thanks to the 256 glitch, making our 100 accuracy Absorb miss, but we managed to hang on and get the win. Now for the rival in the Pokemon Tower. Pidgeot goes down to 2 Body Slams for a strong start. Execute gets paralyzed off one, but ends up putting us to sleep for ages, slowly laying in weak shots with a barrage. It takes forever, but eventually we wake up and hit a Body Slam for the win. Gyarados manages to bite us, but our Body Slams took it out quickly. Kadabra was a one-shot thanks to how physically frail it is, and Charmeleon is out. His Ember crits for shockingly little damage, but still burns us so our attack is down. A few Body Slams later, and we get a surprisingly close victory. The trainers in the Pokemon Tower themselves are awful to deal with. Since Absorb is our only move that hits them, it only has 20 power, and Grass is bad against Poison. All ghosts in Gen 1 are also Poison type. This is the first Channeler, and I got messed up. Tangela is a really frustrating Pokemon. Now that we can finally go to Fuchsia, I go ahead and get the Surf and Strength HMs. Normally I'd fight Koga while I'm there, but he's Poison, we're Grass, and our level is way too low for him. So I decide to go after the trainers in Silphco instead. After that, I go to the Grass Gym. Normally, the TM for Mega Drain isn't very appealing, but it's still better than Absorb, so I want it. Erica herself wasn't anything too bad. We have Sleep Powder now, and Sleep is really strong in Gen 1, so I mostly just use that and Body Slam. Still, my Body Slams don't really do as much damage as I was hoping. I go ahead and use the Mega Drain TM she gave us to replace Absorb. It's basically the same move, but 40 power rather than 20, so we'll really need this for Agatha later. I doubt I'm ready for the Silphco rival fight, but it's time to try. Pidgeot starts with Wing Attack, but we have high defense and Wing Attack is really weak in Gen 1, so we took him out no problem. Execute is second and poisons us early, so we have a soft time limit. Body Slam takes quite a few hits to take him out thanks to his high defense, but at least we didn't get hit much. Gyarados hardly gets hurt off Mega Drain and messes us up with a Dragon Rage. Body Slam does a bit more, but I need health. I managed to finish him off, but we're in dire shape. Alakazam easily brings us to 11 health off a Psybeam, and Poison drops us to 4. We finish him off, but last is Charizard, and we have 4 health and are poisoned. We go down. Failing that, I tried Koga's Poison Gym. It started rough with me doing very little damage to Coughing, but the entire rest of his team ended up being really easy in spite of doing so little damage. Sleep Powder hit each time, and they stayed asleep for ages. Sleep was really strong in Gen 1, especially because on the turn that they wake up, they can't attack. So as long as we're faster and we're lucky enough to always hit with Sleep Powder, it's super powerful. Now that we can use Surf outside of combat, I decided I'd get the Pokemon Mansion out of the way so I can fight Blaine's Fire Gym. I'm sure he'll absolutely crush me, but at least I'll level up a little bit more and be more ready for my rival. I tried to fight Blaine. Growlithe gets put to sleep instantly and goes down to 2 Body Slams. Just barely. Not good. Ponyta suffers the same fate. Rapidash is faster than us though and nails a Fire Spin. In Gen 1 it worked like Bind, where it locks us in, so considering that it's faster than us, we're in a lot of trouble. We get hit with it over and over, including Blaine randomly using a Super Potion on a full health Rapidash mid-Fire Spin, which makes absolutely no sense on multiple levels. Eventually though, we sneak in a Sleep Powder and put it away. Last is Arcanine though, who Fire Blasts us down like we're nothing. After that loss, I got a few more levels and learned Growth. It's extra dangerous in Gen 1 since it raises Special, so it's basically Calm Mind. Here's our stats. They're really nothing that bad overall, but the lack of a proper special attacking move with decent power is really bringing us down. I take another shot at the rival. Pidgeot stays asleep for ages, making it easy for us to set up tons of growths before taking it down. Execute fell asleep for ages too, letting us top off growth and finish it with Body Slam. Gyarados ended up being a one-shot with our newly supercharged Mega Drain, and Alakazam also went down in 1 Mega Drain. Last is Charizard, but Sleep Powder misses and Ember ends up only hitting us for 11 damage. Our Sleep Powder hit, so I used Mega Drain just to test it, and ended up doing a decent amount of damage in spite of its double resistance. Much to my surprise though, my following Body Slam did massive damage and wins us the fight. After that amazing victory, Giovanni is a pushover like usual. I just put Nidorino to sleep, build up growth, Body Slammed my way to the rock types, then swept with Mega Drain. Super easy fight. Next is Sabrina's Psychic Gym. Instantly, we miss a Sleep Powder and take tons of damage from a Psychic and Psybeam before we get a chance to put Kadabra to sleep so that we can build growth. I get 3 in before taking him out with a Mega Drain and almost fully healing. Mr. Mime is next, and once again I miss Sleep Powder and get hit, but it's not so bad anymore. I put him to sleep and get my last 3 growths in, then I heal up off Mega Drain and finish him off. Venomoth is third, but Leech Life hardly hurts us, so we just Body Slam him down. And last is Alakazam, who's still a threat thanks to his crazy high crit chance, but he ends up using Recover at full health, then going down in 1 hit. Amazing. Although I really haven't leveled up all that much since the last time we fought Blaine, we have growth this time, so with a bit of luck, I think we can do this. Growth will at least help protect me from fire moves. Growlithe was first, and it was the perfect target for Sleep Powder and Growth spam. Since it doesn't hit that hard in the first place, there's no real worry about him sneaking in an attack if Sleep Powder misses. After getting all my growths, I take out him and the rest of the team with no real problem. I Mega Drained a bit to stay healthy, and mostly stuck to Body Slam since they did about the same amount of damage due to the grass typing. The last gym is the ground gym, but naturally as a grass type we mop the floor with his entire team, so let's just move on right to the last rival fight before the Elite Four. The rivals team was an absolute cakewalk with our terrifying Sleep Powder and Growth combo, but I have to say I'm worried about the final battle with Charizard, because this one didn't go great. He's Fire and Flying, so we do 4 times less damage with Mega Drain, so even with our 6 growths, it doesn't do that much. Considering our attack isn't great either, Body Slam isn't gonna carry us. That gives Charizard a lot of chances to attack us, and I'm worried about a crit. I'll probably need to use Sleep Powder. By the time I got to the Elite Four, I'm only level 55. Here's our stats. These are a lot higher than we have in most of our runs, although we still don't hit hard at all. Sleep is super strong in Gen 1, and Growth should be able to give us the attack power we need, although I'm pretty worried about Lance and the rival. Let me know if you think we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. Dewgong is first, so I put her to sleep and start with growth. I get quite a few in and then finish it with one Mega Drain. Cloyster is next, but his special is low, so he's a one-shot, as is Slowbro. Jinx hits an Ice Punch for a bit of damage, but I remembered that Jinx is physically frail, so I kept body slamming for the win. Last is Lapras, but one Mega Drain did the job. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. I know his first Onix is pretty useless, so I just start building growths without messing around with Sleep Powder. He mostly focuses on his defense, so he goes down in one Mega Drain easily. Hitmonchan took half its health from a critical body slam, but hardly hurt with a Mega Punch, so I slammed him 2 more times. Our health went to half from a critical Mega Punch though, so with Hitmonlee, I play it safe and just one-shot him with Mega Drain to heal up. The same works for the other Onix, obviously. Last is Machamp, and I body slam to save on power points, but it does almost nothing, so I ended it with another Mega Drain. In between fights, I get some power points back since items outside of combat are perfectly fine in the rules. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha, and this one is really confusing. Well, I try to put her to sleep to build up some of my very much needed growths. She just keeps switching back and forth between Gengar and Golbat seemingly at random. Once I max out my growths, I body slam down a Golbat and then Mega Drain a Gengar, although even with 6 growths, I don't even do half its health and damage. Keep in mind that Gengar is more tanky in Gen 1. After it goes down, I get confused by Haunter, miss Sleep Powder, and get put to sleep. Everyone just keeps spamming Confuse Ray while I'm still asleep, but occasionally it hits Dream Eater for very little damage. I eventually wake up and put him to sleep, then he switches for Arbok, so I ended up Mega Draining it, getting paralyzed by Glare, losing defense to Screech, then finally finishing it off. Then Haunter came out just for her to switch to Gengar mid-fight. This battle is actively annoying me. She tries Dream Eater while I'm awake, not that she can make me sleep because I'm paralyzed. She hits a strong Nightshade, I heal by Mega Draining twice, and on the third one, Gengar is down. Finally, all that's left is Haunter, and I take it down in 2 hits. That was the most annoying fight I've had in a while. First is Gyarados and his worrying Dragon Rage, so I put him to sleep after taking a hit, and spam growth as usual. After all 6, I lose some defense to Leer and nearly one-shot Gyarados, getting hit by a Hyper Beam that crit for nearly all of my health, just to heal slightly off of finishing Gyarados. Definitely not a strong start. Dragonair's next, so I Mega Drain for great damage, then finish him off as it missed Slam. The second Dragonair goes almost the same way, and our health is getting good again. Aerodactyl misses Takedown and is part rock, so we easily take him down with our own Mega Drain. Last is Dragonite, who misses us right away, so I put him to sleep and start slamming. But it's not doing much. I even miss a body slam from the 256 glitch. He ended up staying asleep for so long that he never hit us again. Finally, it's time for the Pokemon Champion. Pidgeot mirror moved nothing, so I hit Sleep Powder and started building growths. Sorry if there's some flashing lights, by the way, Gen 1 always turns on battle animations for the final battle. I ended up getting 4 growths before it woke up and mirror moved twice to build up his own special. I tried to put him to sleep but missed, and he nailed a Sky Attack and a Wing Attack before I could get my 6th growth Mega Drain for very little damage, so is back to Body Slams. It took a crit to do much damage with it, and Pidgeot crit us with a Body Slam in return, so we're in bad shape when we won. He got some mileage out of that mirror move, I swear. Alakazam tried to heal with full health yet again, so I Mega Drained to heal, although it's not a ton. We get hit by Psychic before we take him out, so we're still in bad shape. Rhydon is next, and we use the chance to easily heal with a one-shot. Executor is still just using garbage like Barrage, so I put him to sleep just to speed up the fight and body slam him until he faints. Gyarados is out, and we get hit by Leer, but Mega Drain messes us up bad, and body slam finishes him. Last is Charizard, and he nails a Fire Blast, doing little damage due to growth, but burning us. So we only have 4 times weakened Mega Drain and half-strength Body Slam. This sucks. I keep Mega Draining to try and stay healthy, but he hits a Fire Spin, so not only are we trapped, but we're taking damage from that and burn damage every round. He keeps it on for ages since he's faster than us, but eventually, when we're near fainting, he misses a Fire Blast and we put him to sleep. Then we go right back to Mega Drains to try and keep our health in the yellow. It took many hits, but he didn't wake up, and we finally got an incredibly stressful victory. I have to say I'm incredibly lucky that Bind works the way that it does in Gen 1, because if it didn't, the early game would have been way too much like my Shuckle run for my liking. I'm not too sure what I want to do for next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments and on Twitter, though. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you guys want to see more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you'd like to check out all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend WhatAGeek and I are doing a Gen 1 randomizer over on his channel, linked in the description. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.